I fell in love with a married man without knowing, and I paid dearly for it. My name is Jane, and telling this story still makes my heart tighten, as if everything were happening all over again. For a long time, I wondered whether I should keep this to myself, but the weight of silence was heavier than shame. I didn't step into this story wanting to hurt anyone. I didn't wake up one day deciding to be the other woman. I simply fell in love, without knowing that this love already belonged to someone else, already had rings, already had a life built far away from my eyes. And when the truth appeared, it didn't come gently. It came like a punch, the kind that knocks you down and leaves you breathless. I met him during a fragile moment in my life. I was alone, tired of disappointments, trying to rebuild my self-esteem little by little. He arrived with calm words, an attentive gaze, and a presence that felt sincere. He said he also came from a complicated relationship and preferred not to talk much about the past. I respected that. I believed him. Over time, he became my refuge. He called me every day, listened to me, made me laugh when I had forgotten how to smile. He never let it show that another woman occupied the place I thought was only mine. Our meetings always had strange schedules. We never spent the night together during the week, never appeared in public in certain places. He said he was private, that he valued discretion. Foolishly, I called that maturity. When someone commented on it, I defended him. I said he was different, that I had finally found a man who respected me. I believed it so deeply that I ignored the loud signs life was placing right in front of me. I wanted to believe. And sometimes wanting is stronger than seeing. The discovery was not gentle. It was cruel. A message appeared on his phone while he was in the shower. A woman's name, a sentence far too intimate to ignore. My body froze. My heart raced. When I confronted him, he tried to lie, to minimize, to make me doubt myself. Until cornered, he confessed. He was married, he had children, he had an entire life in which I had never existed. In that instant, everything collapsed. I felt used, dirty, deceived. Not only by him, but by myself for trusting so deeply. The worst part wasn't just the lie. It was the guilt that fell on me as if I were the only one at fault. He cried, said he loved me, asked for time, asked for understanding. And I, already wounded, still tried to understand. I lived days of confusion, divided between the love I felt and the pain of knowing I was someone's shadow. I hid, avoided people, felt ashamed of something I never planned. Meanwhile, he went back home, slept beside his wife, and I stayed alone with my thoughts and my guilt. When I decided to leave that story, it wasn't because of a lack of love. It was because of an excess of pain. But leaving didn't save me immediately. I paid dearly, emotionally. I lost sleep, lost trust in people, lost faith in my own judgment. I felt small, replaceable, disposable. There were moments when I thought maybe I deserved it, as if loving were a crime too serious to forgive. And that was the cruelest part of all. He moved on with his life, and I stayed behind, picking up the pieces he left. With time, the wound began to heal. Not because I forgot, but because I learned. I learned to listen to the signs, to respect my limits, to stop accepting crumbs disguised as love. I understood that I wasn't the villain of this story, but I wasn't the heroine either. I was human. I was needy. I was deceived. And I survived. I rebuilt my self-esteem slowly, but honestly. I learned to look at myself in the mirror again without disgust, without guilt, without shame. Today, when I remember this story, I no longer feel anger. I feel awareness. I fell in love with a married man without knowing, yes, and I paid dearly for it. But I also learned the value of choosing myself, of refusing hidden loves, of not settling for being an option. This pain taught me that true love does not live in the shadows, does not demand silence, and does not ask you to disappear in order to fit into someone else's life. And if this story helps another woman open her eyes before she loses herself, then all this pain was not in vain.